Becoming extroverted. To become extroverted, you need to repress your personal feelings, characteristics, thoughts, biases, reactions. You need to suppress and replace them with what is appropriate for the person you're interacting with. Why is that? Because the introverted things are parts of your personality are more stable and inert, so you react certain ways to certain things, and people don't accept that because people hate people. You have to act the way that is appropriate. The more you want to deal with extroversion, the more fake you have to become. Because if you aren't, you will strain too much to fake it. If you have to suppress what you are wired and are like, then think about the other person, what they think, how they feel, what their biases are, what their reactions are. And think about what biases, reactions, and expressions you have to make. Then you do this with 1,000 people. Because you could say a lot of everybody masks, but not, it often happens. You're with a bunch of people and they all have a different impression of you, and now you can't reconcile it with all of them because you didn't think far enough, or you don't know what to do if a situation like this comes up. So one way you react now to one person will be inappropriate for other people. Now you have to think of a way on the reaction to appeal to everybody. This almost also means that you have to be smarter than everyone to be liked by them. In the sense that they all have biases that will lead to conflict. So you have to be above them. And to be above them, I try to understand them, and I try to think of what I can do, say, express, etc. In what way that will make that person think differently and not be in conflict. Because people are biased, you need a specific way of saying and expressing things, and you may even need a specific time on a timeline. You need a plan about how to go to influence them. Why do you make that effort? Because if you're too different intrinsically than others, and they get triggered by all of those differences they don't understand and they don't try to understand, you're a minority, they are the majority, they think the same in some ways, or they actually, since they are also empty, because they're faking their interactions with each other all the time, because what matters to them is getting along in a superficial way, not genuine understanding, and they are just fake people, genuinely. And if someone is offended by that, then that's part of their bias. Obviously, a lot of people are fake. If you've been outside, you know that. They start fake and they continue to be fake, and they on purpose ignore the difficult things. They even ridicule them. I'm not saying that anybody who wants to have fun is fake, and I'm not saying that anyone who is able to interact in an extroverted way is fake completely. Or implicit, yeah, fake in general, too fake, but a lot of people are. In personality theory in sociologics, it's also said that extroverted types have more difficult time figuring out what their type are. This is again probably because they keep adapting to what the external world wants from them. Extroversion here may also mean extroverted needs. It can be things like your job or performance. One, you are performing for other people, but you also have to do work that appeals to other people in a way that appeals to other people to be accepted. And then more, if you want to be treated better. Since that also means that some people are going to be more introverted, more stuck to their biases and more judgmental, and they will not try to understand you. So you're stuck having to become more extroverted than someone else to try to adapt to them. Because of how your facial bones are and how your brain expands on them and the way you're wired and your muscles. If you have learned how to be introverted or are more wired that way, you may strain in ways that can damage your introversion or repress it when you try to become extroverted because you're using your bones, muscles and brain in different way. I do think it's definitely possible to have both on a very high level, but this will be more complicated and you need to be healthier and everything to align for it to happen. Part of extroversion is being able to think in the moment about how to react and how not to react. How not to show the person that you're hateful. Because if people sense criticism from you that is in an unacceptable, hateful, bitter way that doesn't align with them, because you can be bitter at someone and they can feel sorry about what they've done. On the other hand, they may feel like you're an asshole, that you're judgmental, arrogant, and of course a lot of the time this means that people can keep telling you that you're arrogant about this or that, but you can't tell them that they are arrogant. When you think generally more like other people, you have to strain less to become extroverted. Because this forms a way of thinking that's more prevalent. So you can switch more easily between people and how you interact with them, because you don't have to change so much. Because extroverts often change so much, it is possible they have no principles which are related to the introverted cognitive functions. The personal introverted principles can be what stays when everyone else is being different, when you're against everyone else. Just because everybody does or thinks something doesn't mean it's right. However, I've heard this said a lot. When you do what's right in spite of everyone else, you're holding to a principle. That's generally related to introversion, and again, I'm not saying that extroverted types can't do that. Everybody in general has introverted and extroverted parts about them. Because of the bias. Because people in general are still individuals. Instead of being extroverted to everyone, they are extroverted with a number of people. That becomes a tribe that is a distinct tribe from tribes of other people. That they don't like and judge. Which can be fair or not. If you have a bunch of groups of extroverted people who can tell you how to act, but if you try the way of one tribe with another tribe, you would get punished for it. But if you tell that to someone from the former tribe, they can tell that you're arrogant and that you're making excuses and whatever. Continuously you may have parts about yourself that are acceptable in one tribe but not in another tribe. But those people who give you the advice don't have those parts and don't think that they are a problem. So when they interact with the other tribe, because they don't have those parts, they don't get judged for them. So when they give you advice and you take it and you act with that other tribe, and you haven't changed the parts of yourself that they will judge you for, you get judged. You get judged for all kinds of reasons, not personality reasons only. Part of what you're about is about your health, how you move, how you dress, how you say things. You can do the exact same thing only because you're a different height and you're happier when you do it. Suddenly you're taken for something else entirely. Of course, this can make sense to some extent. If a very large person is moving around way too much, he's dangerous for others compared to a small person. But sometimes it doesn't make sense. So of course you need time to process your own emotions, your own thoughts, your own understanding. If you want to extrovert with people, this can't happen because they will force your attention and focus on what they are about and what they want. And you will also be forced, if they want to have fun with you, they start teasing you. You're not allowed to react negative or say no, cause then you're boring or judgmental. When you have something to process, you need time and space to process it. They won't let that happen. So this happens progressively, and then you're not allowed. So you have to become an entirely different person that is fake. You become chaos in that process. Because there is nothing. Because over time you're killing what's real. And then you have a problem because they will be upset about something and now you have to cater to them. And you have to express emotions to them and you have to mirror them and you have to make them feel okay and understood. And then they may be wrong about it. They are just entitled and selfish. But how should you communicate to them? without offending them. They may never be receptive, and it can happen that is most people. And when you don't get along with most people, if you don't interact with them for whatever reason, you're getting told that you have no social skills, that you're selfish, that you're arrogant, that if you can't get along with so many people, then you're the problem and not them. Their interactions being shallow and not thinking about what someone else is thinking about may mean that years later they will think like you did years ago. Yet they disagreed with you about it then and made fun of you and etc. And you have to be tolerant. This is why also you were told that you were in the wrong. So to be extroverted with anyone, you need good enough health to be able to keep all of the manipulation along with the sincerity and how to adapt. If you are more unhealthy and you become more extroverted, you will become more chaos and disconnected from yourself. Finally, people who don't get along with children, it's usually people who are dishonest, sarcastic, arrogant, they look down on others. This is related to the tribalism, because similar to someone who's outside the tribe not knowing what the tribe wants and they expect you to act that way, and if you don't, they punish and hurt you. It's like that those people are also expecting children to know things that they don't and can't, and expect them to act ways just because they've decided that those ways are appropriate, but they don't have a real reason besides biases to them, and they treat the child like it's an idiot for not knowing all that, or for not adhering to it. They are simultaneously arrogant people and treat others as if they are arrogant. They tell them that they are arrogant. They project their own arrogance on them for not knowing. In general, children don't like those kind of people because from their perspective someone is getting mad at them for no reason. A lot of people get mistreated like that as children, and what they do decide to become like the people who mistreated them, because they want to power trip, and those are those people who grow up that way. The most stupid reaction to something happening to you is copying it exactly. Monkey see, monkey do. It's the worst, one of the worst, if not the worst way to react in that kind of situation. Because those people want to power trip. They think in memes. Because when you project on someone things that aren't true about them, because you want to believe in memes and things you think you're smart and you figured someone out, because they superficially fit a pattern. Because this invalidates the person. It's a meme. It's hurtful and it allows them to power trip. And because it's a meme, everybody knows it. So when they start mistreating someone, the mistreating that someone becomes entertainment that their tribe friends can join in and do together.